Have you ever gotten to the end of the day and thought, wow, I was busy all day long, but did I actually accomplish anything? I think if we're being honest, all of us have felt that way at one time or another, but some of us maybe feel like that's a constant state. We always feel like we're drowning in emails, or we always feel like we're sprinting to the next meeting, or we're always getting caught up in one urgent distraction after another. And before you know it, the whole day that we so desperately needed to get caught up is already gone. But here's something I wish I would have learned sooner. You don't have to live that way. You can actually take back your day. And in this episode, we're going to talk specifically about how to do that. Well, welcome to the Reese Cagle Leadership Podcast. I am so glad that you have joined me today. And this is a place and a space where we get to have a conversation that I hope equips and encourages you on your leadership journey. And today's conversation is one that I believe is going to make a difference in how you experience day-to-day life. Because time is the most precious thing we have. And using it intentionally doesn't just increase your productivity, it allows you to pursue your purpose. So here's the question I want us to look at today. What does it really mean to live intentionally? Well, for me, it means deciding in advance. The key word here is advance on how you're going to spend your time, your energy, your focus, so that your actions line up with your values and your priorities. As the great Jim Rohn once said, you either run the day or the day runs you. Which one do you feel like is true in your life right now? I want to share 3 things with you that I think have helped me over the years to start to live on purpose. And I believe that these things are practical and that you can start doing them right away to change your life right now. So let's jump right into the first one, which is to start with a morning routine that sets the tone. You see, I've learned over the years that how you begin your day often shapes everything that follows. And this works both ways, positively and negatively. I want you to picture this. You've overslept your alarm. So now you're already 15 minutes behind, and you wake up only to find that there's no coffee left. And to make matters worse, you can't seem to find your car keys. But a half an hour later, you finally get everything and you start sprinting out of the house and you think, maybe I can squeeze in Starbucks on the way to work. So you take the gamble. And even though you have your coffee, you're now late. And not a little late, you're a lot late. The fact is, most days that start in chaos don't end in peace. That poor start usually puts your whole day behind, and the problem is simple. You didn't set yourself up for success. And the result is you fell further and further behind. But that's where routine helps. It puts you in the right headspace to bring your best to the people who are counting on you the most. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It might be a little morning exercise, a few quiet minutes with coffee, journaling, prayer, simply writing down your goals. The key is to choose something that energizes you and sets a positive tone for your day. Here's the point. When you own your mornings, you start the day on purpose, not on accident. So I want you to take a moment and think about how you currently spend your mornings and what would it look like if you put in place a simple 15-minute routine. Now, the second thing you can do to live life more intentionally is to define your top 3 priorities. Most of us wake up with an endless to-do list. But the truth is, not everything on your to-do list is equally important. And a powerful question to ask is, if I could only accomplish 3 things today, what would make my day feel productive? Years ago, when I was starting my first business, I had dinner with a multimillionaire, and here's what I asked him. What do you think made the biggest difference in your success? His answer was every day he wrote down 3 things that he absolutely had to accomplish. And once he started that streak, he said it amazed him at what he could accomplish over time. And that simple practice, that small piece of advice, has stuck with me over the years. Because when you know the 3 things you need to focus your energy on, you're less likely to get lost in the noise and far more likely to finish your day with a real sense of progress. Now, the third thing we can do to live intentionally every day is to create intentional time blocks. This is about scheduling your day on purpose instead of letting distractions dictate what gets done. Time blocking simply means to set aside specific windows of time for what matters most. Whether that's deep work, meetings, creative projects, or even setting aside time for rest. For example, for me, on Wednesday mornings, I set aside 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every week to review business financials. And then I set aside Friday afternoons between 2 and 4 to catch up on emails before the weekend. So that means that all time blocking is setting aside specific times to do specific tasks. This structure protects your time, and it ensures that you're giving your energy to what's most important, not just what's most urgent. So there they are, the 3 practices. Start with the morning routine, define your top 3 priorities, and create intentional time blocks. This is what it looks like to live life intentionally. Because intentionality is really about making proactive decisions that serve your goals and values, rather than simply reacting to the demands of the day. And here's the truth, as a leader, you're always going to have demands in your day. So I want to give you a reflection question that you can think about today. And here it is. What would your day look like if you approached it with complete intentionality? What would change in the way you plan or the way you spend your time? Okay, let me give you a practical step that you can do tonight. I want you to take 10 minutes and I want you to plan tomorrow. I want you to outline your morning routine. I want you to write down your top 3 priorities, and I want you to block out a little bit of time for your key tasks. Because in doing this, you'll protect your time and protect your energy. And then I want you to watch what kind of difference that makes in your day. Because intentionality isn't just about productivity, it's about creating a life where your actions reflect your values and your priorities. That kind of leadership is worth living. Well, if you found value in this episode, it would mean a lot to me. If you would like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who you think would benefit from the information as well. I'll see you in the next episode.